Welcome to Guns Gear Network, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to show you a PDW style pistol that's less than $500 and it takes Glock Mags. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. So today I'm pretty excited about bringing this video. It's probably going to be a little longer than I typically like to do, but I got a lot to talk about on this particular video. And with today's price gouging, everybody's seen it. You know, everybody's going crazy on prices in the firearms industry. This firearm here, they cannot price gouge you if you don't want them to. And it is called the Extar is the name of the company. It's the EP9, and it is a 9mm pistol caliber, carbine-ish pistol, PDW, whatever you want to call them now, firearm. So this one actually fell under the radar for me for a while, and I didn't even realize what it was or anything else. I actually discovered this on Gunbroker of all places at an elevated price. And so I got to looking, trying to research for reviews and all kinds of things because it piqued my interest for a few different reasons. Even the price point on Gunbroker caught my attention. I think they had them listed on there for $600 and some. So even at that price, I thought, dang, 9mm, blah, blah, blah. And yes, it does take Glock Mags. So that's one of the first questions people ask for something like this. It takes Glock Mags. I actually bought this for less than $500, including shipping and including my FFL transfer. So you guys looking for a bargain on a 9mm that takes Glock Mags, this is the one to listen to very closely. So, Extar, what are they and what's it about? This is a company based out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and they're a U.S.-based company, U.S.-made products, U.S.-made firearm. And they're not an importer, they're actually a manufacturer, kind of like Kel-Tec was back in the day when they got started. They produce one firearm and one firearm only, and they have a few accessories and parts and things like that, but their sole purpose as a company is for this particular firearm. So, how are you going to buy it? And the reason they can't price gouge is because you cannot buy this through a distributor. You can't buy this through a retailer. You can, because some of them do get out in the secondary market and wind up at retailers, or people buying them and sticking them on Gunbroker. But they do not sell to retailers. They do not sell to distributors. They sell direct to consumer through an FFL. So just, how you legally purchase a firearm through the internet is you have to go through an FFL. Same thing with this. So you go in, you purchase it, and you choose your FFL of choosing. They send it to there after they exchange some paperwork to make sure everything's legitimate and legal, and then they send the firearm out, and you go by your local FFL, do the proper paperwork, and you pay for it. That simple. So they cut out all the middle people involved where there's going to be markup. So that's the beauty of this thing, is the price point. So again, less than $500. I think total money was like $489-ish, something like that. So just under $500, and we'll discuss what came with the firearm, what doesn't, and all that as we go along through the video. You will get an owner's manual, basic stuff, tells you all about it, what it's about, how to, do's and don'ts, whatever, how to look at things maintenance-wise, cleaning-wise, everything like that is involved. Limited warranty information right here on the back. It is guaranteed workmanship for 1 year. So on their website, you can buy extra spare parts, which I have done. If I've ever had a malfunction, typically, or a failure on a firearm, it's usually a firing pin related issue, some kind of trigger spring, something like that, or the extractor. Those are the main 2 or 3 things that usually fail on any firearm that I've had a failure of. And so I went ahead and ordered some. They're very reasonable in price for their replacement parts, and they do have some accessories available like an Extar branded case, things like that. I opted just for the firearm. This thing weighs less than 5 pounds, so it's very lightweight. Everything, for the most part, a lot of it's made of polymer. So think Kel-Tec. A lot of people think polymer. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of things made of polymer now in the firearms industry, so don't let that scare you. I mean, Kel-Tec is known as the Tupperware, or even Glock Tupperware of firearms, things like that. Similar concept and design with this one. What parts need to be metal are metal. The rest are simply polymer. So little less than 5 pounds. I don't know exact. I'm sorry, I should have that maybe for the video, but I don't. But you're looking at around 5 pounds a total package for this. It does come with one magazine. It is a Glock 17 magazine, 17 rounds. It is Glock branded. It came in Glock packaging. So you do get one of those. We'll discuss magazines a little further into the video. But as you see it, what I've added, this forend does have a Picatinny Rail or 1913 rail. I've added this Magpul foregrip. I've added backup sights. It does not come with any sights. It does have a Picatinny Rail, 1913 rail all the way across the top. I've just added a few things to show you how you can accessorize yours. These backup sights you hear are Magpul style. I think they came free on a firearm I got a couple years ago. They were in my parts drawer. I went ahead and just stuck them on here just to show you. This is the Penty a red dot that I did a review about not long ago. It gets really good reviews, and I decided to stick on this because it's a value budget style red dot. Didn't want to put a $300 or $400 red dot on a $500 firearm, right? So it's got some similarities to an AR, but it's different also in a lot of ways. The fire control group supposedly is a mil-spec AR, so if you wanted to put in a mil-spec AR type trigger, assembly, that kind of thing, supposedly some of that works. I have not tested it, but just FYI, guys, when I started looking for, once I saw it on Gunbroker, started researching the product and all that, I looked for negative reviews and I could not find any. Believe it or not, on the $1,200 Streebog that I bought, I found a lot more negative reviews than on this less than $500 9mm carbine pistol kind of thing, right? So for, you know, less than half the price, this one, if you can find a negative review, be sure to share it with me because I couldn't find it. I bought this myself. They do not offer discounts to anybody, including law enforcement, military, retailers, wholesalers, anybody, YouTubers, whatever. Everybody pays the same price. They say that directly on their website. So you do get this forend here. It's kind of different. It's kind of unique. When you look at this firearm and feel it and all that, it feels very Kel-Tec-ish kind of feel, and I'm a pretty big fan of Kel-Tec. I like a lot of the products, very innovative, and this company's kind of on that same level in my opinion. We'll discuss the internals here in a minute. We'll go over that, but as far as the you know, the fire control group and all that, very similar. All the controls are very similar to an AR. So fire and safe is here just like on an AR. It is not ambidextrous. I assume maybe you could add an ambidextrous style safety because if you look over here, they have the same fire control nomenclatures over here where it shows safe and fire and all that. So I assume maybe a ambidextrous one would work if you wanted to switch it out. Mag releases here, very similar to an AR again. It has a built-in or molded-in shell deflector right here. The bolt release is here, so if you lock the bolt to the rear, it's the same principle. This one does not have the charging handle back here like on an AR. It has a side non-reciprocating bolt handle and bolt. So you slide the bolt to the rear, push up like you would on an AR, it catches the bolt, and that is non-reciprocating, would stay where you want it up there. So you don't have to worry about this handle, you know, coming around. To release the bolt, same thing. You hit the ping pong paddle like they talk about with an AR, and the bolt goes home just like that. So one of the warnings that they have on this is do not load the firearm with the bolt closed and a fully loaded magazine. That's a big warning. They actually had a piece of like safety tape around this with a quality check information and also that warning. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the, I guess you're going to damage the bolt or something. They say do not do that. So it does not come with this QD attachment here. It does come with the QD hole where you can mount the QD sling adapter here, which is what I've put in just to kind of show you. The SB Tactical Brace does come with it just as you see it. Just as you see it here. It's installed. It's ready to go. Everything's good to go. So they've partnered obviously with SB Tactical to supply that or whatever for them. This grip here is same thing as an AR. It can be switched out. Has a bolt inside of there. This is the B5 Systems handle. It's very similar to Magpul in some ways, but different in a lot of ways. It is an open cavity design. It does not have any kind of storage capacity there. The Side texturing is very almost like stippled, and then it has texturing in the front, none in the rear. So it's very grippy, I will say that. So I'll probably leave it, to be honest with you. I might, if I've got a mag pull and laying around, might switch it out, but at this point I don't really see a need, to be honest with you. Again, talking about everything is polymer for the most part, other than the parts that need to be metal. This part here, the lower receiver, is all built in. This trigger guard, and it's very molded down and opened, so if you had gloves on it would easily fit inside of here. Your serial numbers are here in metal, molded into the plastic. I also think where these pins are, your trigger pins and all are, I think there's a metal reinforcement plate, and it's hard, you're never going to see it on this camera, but I can tell there's something looks like inside of that plastic. So if I had to guess, they've got some kind of plate backing molded into this, so those will not, you know, get distorted, that area where those pins are and walk out, you know, the pins walk out. So I assume you could actually put anti-walk pins if you so choose to do that. I don't really see a reason unless it became a problem or something. It does come with a flash hider. I'm sorry, it comes with a muzzle brake, not a flash hider. So I have not test fired this one at all. Again, I'm only going on basic reviews and research I've done. They say this does a good job. It is removable. So I think it's 1x28 maybe. I can't remember the threads. You have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure it's standard stuff. Get you a look at it there. It breaks down similar to an AR. We'll talk about that here in a second too. Let's look at these magazines. So again, I told you it comes with the Glock G17 or Glock 17 mag. Goes right in like that. Well, hang on, let me pull this bolt back because it said not to do that, so I don't want to do that. So let's do this. All right, so the bolt is back, and it goes right in, just like that. It is drop free, by the way, because a lot of people will ask that. So they are drop free. Aftermarket, so they only support 2 mags as far as guarantee and fit. Glock factory mags and mag pull mags. I've got a couple aftermarkets here. I'm going to demonstrate those just for those interested that might already own magazines. This is the SGM Tactical. Fits in just fine and drops free just fine. No issues. Got a little bit of wobble. Let's check the wobble on the factory mag. A little bit of wobble also, probably a little more with this. However, this right here, I think it's a Korean mag. I can't remember which manufacturer, but this is a Korean mag. I'm 99% sure of that, and I've got a Glock base plate, a factory Glock base plate in it. But this one is a little stiff. I can get it in, and it'll probably function, but I would have to manually remove it. It will not drop free. Now, I might could take some fine sandpaper and sand these sides down, because I can see where it's rubbing. It's actually got rub marks on it, and I could probably just kind of fine tune it, and it would do just fine. Just some real high grit sandpaper might could smooth some of that out. But it's not overly difficult to get in, but, you know, again, doesn't drop free. But I think it'll run most all your Glock mags. So let's take a look at taking this thing down real quick. Unlike the AR, it does not have 2 pins. It has a, what I'll show you here is a hinge and 1 pin here. Simply push it, let's see, push it all the way through like that. Pull it all the way out. It is captured, the pin is captured back here. And then it simply, let me drop my bolt. Sorry guys, forgot. Your bolt needs to be forward first, so keep that in mind. Simple design as far as the bolt and everything. It is a blowback design. And if you look, that is your bolt right there. Very robust, very heavy duty. None of this is obviously polymer. This is all steel and very significant. You can feel the quality in this. Hardly any machining marks. Everything is smooth, nice, that sort of thing. You can take this right here is where the extractor is. You can take it out by simply removing this cotter pin. I bought an extra extractor, just FYI. Say, you know, then you're a firing pin. I ordered an extra firing pin, an extractor, and something else. I can't remember what I ordered, but there was 2 or 3 things I ordered, including the extractor and the firing pin. Those are the 2 major things I've ever seen break in a firearm. So to put it back together is pretty easy. Just simply push the bolt back in. Make sure this pin here hadn't worked its way back in. If you look, that's worked its way back in a little bit. So pull that out just like that. and then take and just kind of squeeze and kind of go at an angle down like that and push your pin back in. So I'm going to show you that one more time since I made such a mess of it before. So push that, pull the pin out in the back, and then pull it apart just like that. That simple. And then, like I said, kind of go at an angle here. Make sure that pin, again, is clear. Get it all kind of lined up there at the top. And then simply push down and it'll go into this little slot like that. Push the pin back in, check for function, just like that. So, give you an idea on this side what it looks like. They do sell accessories. This Picatinny Rail, it already has pre-drilled holes. Just FYI, these are not standard hole width for most Picatinny, like a mag pull. It will not fit there. I've already checked it. So if you own some pieces of Picatinny Rail and you think you can use it, you'll have to re-drill holes or you'll have to order from them direct. So they're a little pricey, I'll be honest with you on that. I think one piece of Picatinny Rail is 12 bucks or something. But you buy one or two at a time, but in the grand scheme of like mag pull, they're probably in the same lineup as far as price point. I went ahead and ordered one because I am going to add a flashlight to this. And that brings me to the point of what's it good for? Truck gun, something like this would be excellent for that because it does come apart in two pieces. Maybe a backpack style, portable style firearm. Home defense, my wife and my son both have held this and they thought it did really well as far as weight and just ease of use and things like that. It was easy to maneuver and manipulate everything because they're familiar, they're trained on an AR style platform, so they're familiar with the fire controls and all the controls of the firearm itself. So most of everything else, like the way this bolt works, was pretty easy for them to grasp pretty quickly. So something like this for home defense, yeah, it would work as long as the reliability is there. According to, like I said, what I've seen, I've yet to seen a reliability issue on the internet anywhere, whether it be write-ups or video reviews or anything like that. I've just yet to see one, guys. So I'm sure there's some negative reviews somewhere. I just hadn't found one, and I do a pretty extensive search before I spend my money just to make sure that everything's on the up and up. With that, I don't want a bunch of problems. But anyway, guys, if you got any experience with Extar EP9, be sure to share that with us. That would be greatly appreciated. And again, I think it'd be a great value, especially in today's climate. So there's a trick to ordering this, and I'm going to tell you of the trick. You're going to go over to their website after watching this video, and it's going to be shown sold out. So I saw the same thing. I contacted the company when I first got interested, and I said, how often do y'all replenish? Because what happens is if you go on websites today, these smaller companies, they may have a 6, 12, 16-month waiting list kind of thing. It's getting ridiculous, really. So I emailed them. Within 30 minutes, they contacted me back, and they said that they try replenishing 2 to 4 times a month, their inventories. They said, sign up for the notification. Well, after doing a little digging, I decided to go ahead and sign up for an account. So just like you can become a member of a forum or whatever, any of the big name gun distributor type people, you can sign up and use that account over and over again. So I went ahead and did that. So that information was already there. It was in place. I think I was even able to go ahead and pick my FFL maybe. But the basic information, name, address, phone numbers, emails, all that was included. Then I went over and it said, notify me when back in stock, tab. You click on it, hit the notification. I don't know if I got lucky or what happened, but within 2 hours of me doing all that, they emailed me and said that they had some in stock. I immediately went over there, grabbed my credit card. I hit, sign in. I signed in real quick. It obviously pulled up all my information that was already saved. And then I just simply put in my credit card, hit pay, and they said, congratulations. Shipping will be, 10 to 14 days. And that was about what it took, about 10 to 14 days, and it showed up at my FFL. They called me. I went and did the transfer there at my local FFL store. Everything was smooth. And so anyway, that's kind of the trick. Be sure you go over there, sign up. I've been notified because I'm still signed up. I think they've notified me at least once or twice, maybe since then. I assume if you purchase it, it'll eventually drop off, but it may have been in between when I purchased and when it got shipped, when I got notified at least one more time. I hadn't been notified again, I don't think, but I hadn't re-signed up for that. No need to. But anyway, guys, if I had a negative, I do want to share this with you, and I wish they would change it. I don't know if you can see this, but right there, these two, there's screws on either side. These screws hold on this fore end. It looks like literally sheetrock screws. They're not. They're machine screws, but I wish they would use like a hex head or some type of Allen key style of, and I may wind up switching that out. I assume it's just a common thread. I should be able to find some and change that out, but that's the only negative. It kind of looks kind of chintzy to me with that kind of sheet metal kind of Phillips head screw in there. But anyway, appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, post those below. If you got any experience with Extar EP9, be sure to share that with us. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Bring another video shortly. Have a great day.